Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Monday, the 25th of January, 2021. Today we are going to be starting off with our phonics. Senior infants, I'd like you to open up your Just Phonics on page 68. Today we are doing the U sound as in clue. Click this link to watch the YouTube video of all U words that are spelt with our special friend UE. Remember to use your fingers when you are sounding out these new words. When you finish watching the link, I want you to write today's date up on top of your page, 25.1. First, you trace your special friend U and E that come together to make the U sound. Then, you move to activity B and you colour in all of the U special friends. Once you have all of your U sounds coloured in, you have to look at the pictures in activity C and colour the pictures that have a U sound and cross out the ones that do not have the U sound. Cake, cake. Does that have the U sound? No, so I will cross it out. This was one of our words from our story, Estate Agent to the Rescue. Q, U, Q. Does Q have the U sound? Yes, it does, so I'll colour in this picture. Remember, when you are done, take a photo and upload it to your Class Dojo portfolio. Well done, boys and girls. First class, today you are going to be opening up your Just Phonics on page 58. Today we are going to be exploring syllables. Syllables are parts of words. They can also be called chunks. These parts of words help you to read new words that are difficult or longer, and they can help you to spell words correctly by breaking them up into chunks that are easier to sound out. I want you to watch these two videos about syllables and try and sound them out with your hand underneath your chin. Parents, I've also attached a link here that's a very handy video for helping your child to learn how to sound out syllables. When you finish watching those links, boys and girls, I want you to write today's date at the top of page 58, so 25.1. Here, boys and girls, we have all different types of animals. These animals are words that are made up of more than one part. They have more than one chunk. So here, I have rabbit. Put your hand underneath your chin and sound it out together. Nice and slow. Rabbit. Again, rabbit. How many times did your chin move down? It moved down twice. There are two parts to the word rabbit. It has two syllables. Rab, which is here for us, And the second one, rabbit. Bit is the second syllable. So you have to look up above here and find its second syllable. And I found it there. So here I'll write bit. B-it. Rabbit. It's also important to note, boys and girls, that each syllable has its own vowel. Remember our vowel song for Batman? A, 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 vowel bat. Remember that song? So each syllable has a vowel. Here we can see a, and here we can see I. We'll do the next one together as well. Number 2. This is a picture of a panda. Put your hand underneath your chin and make sure it's stuck together like glue. Panda. Nice and slow again. Panda. How many times did your hand move down? Twice. Our first syllable was pan. Second syllable was da. Look up above, and here is our second syllable, da. And then I join the two syllables together and write it here. Pan, da. And remember to cross out your syllable once you're done with it. Here I want you to read these words out loud to your parents. Star and fish come together to make starfish. Sea and horse come together to make seahorse. Now in activity C, you are going to be moving on to your dictation sentence. Remember, each dictation sentence needs a capital letter at the beginning, finger spaces between your words, neat writing, and a full stop at the end. Be careful. Remember that you are going to be having syllable words that have more than one part in this sentence. Ready for your dictation sentence?
Dictation, page 58. The panda eats bamboo. The panda eats bamboo.
That was the panda eats bamboo. Only 4 words there. When you're done, take a photo and upload it to your Class Dojo learning portfolio. Now, boys and girls in senior infants, you are going to be learning spellings with your short sound from the letter U. Will you open up your Spell Well, please, to page 36. Let's sound out our first word together. Hug. 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 Give yourself a big virtual hug. Pretend as if you're giving your teddy a hug. What type of a word is that? It's a doing word, so it's a verb. Color it red, please. Next word, mug. Mug. A mug is a big cup, so it's a thing, which means it's a noun. Color it yellow, please. Last spelling for tonight, rug. A rug is like a large mat that you put on the floor. It's a thing, which means it's a noun. Colour it yellow, please. Then I want you to do activity B. You have to unjumble these words and spell them correctly. Remember, you'll find them in your list words. The first one, we'll do it together. We know our should be in the middle, and that leaves us with fun. Remember to send a photo when you're done, boys and girls. This week, boys and girls in first class, you are going to be focusing on the magic E that turns our short sound into the long U sound. So open up page 60 in your Spell Well now, please. Let's sound the first word together. June. June. June is a month of the year, so it's a thing. It's a noun, so colour it yellow, please. It gets a capital letter because it's a month of the year. Remember that when you're practicing spelling it. Capital J, that's nice and tall instead of long. Next spelling. Tune. I play a tune on my whistle. It's a thing, so it's a noun. Colour it yellow, please. Next, use. I use a pencil to write. I use the remote to change the channel. Use is a doing word, which means it's a verb, so colour it red, please. And last spelling for tonight, fuse. I lit the fuse. Fuse is a thing like at the end of a firework that you set alight. And also, fuse means to join something together. The joint is where you fuse your two bones. So it's a noun and it's a verb. So colour it half yellow and half red, please. Then you're going to move on to page 61, activity B. You have to write list words with the opposite meanings. So the opposite of uncertain is sure. These words will be found in your list words, so make sure to check them to find the correct answers. Remember to send a photo as soon as you are done. This week, boys and girls, we are going to be learning our poem, Build a Little House. Today we are going to learn line 1 and 2. We are going to learn it just like we do in class by doing actions with our lines. So repeat after me. I will build a little house with a chimney tall, a funny sloping roof, and a garden wall. One more time. I will build a little house with a chimney tall, a funny sloping roof, and a garden wall. One last time together. I will build a little house with a chimney tall, a funny sloping roof, and a garden wall. Try it on your own now, boys and girls. This week, boys and girls, in Irish, we are going to be learning how to say the type of house we live in. The question you will be asked is, Cá bhfuil tú is a chónaí? Cá bhfuil tú is a chónaí? Is a chónaí means where are you living? Remember, cá bhfuil means where. We had that for the last 2 weeks when we were asking cá bhfuil níamh. This week we're focusing on cá bhfuil tú is a chónaí. You might live in a bungalow. If you do, repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I bungalow. Tám I mo chónaí I bungalow. If you do not live in a bungalow, you can repeat this after me. Níl mé I mo chónaí I bungalow. Níl mé I mo chónaí I bungalow. If you live in a caravan, repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I caravan. Tám I mo chónaí I caravan. If you do not live in a caravan, repeat after me. Níl mé I mo chónaí I caravan. Níl mé I mo chónaí I caravan. If you're in a fairy tale, you might live in this place, a cashlán. Tám I mo chónaí I gashlán. Tám I mo chónaí I gashlán. If you do not live in a castle, repeat after me. Níl mé I mo chónaí I gashlán. Níl mé I mo chónaí I gashlán. If you live in a detached house that is not touching another house either on the left or the right hand side, it's standing on its own, you live in a teach scuite. Repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I teach scuite. Arís. Tám I mo chónaí I teach scuite. Arís. Tám I mo chónaí I teach scuite. If you do not live in a detached house, say, Níl mé I mo chónaí I teach scuite. Níl mé I mo chónaí I teach scuite. If you live in a semi-detached house that's touching one other house, either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, you live in a teach la scuite. Repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. Tám I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. Arís. Tám I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. And if you are not, Níl mé I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. Níl mé I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. If you are living in a terraced house that is touching another house on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, you're living in a teach sraithe. Teach sraithe. Repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I teach sraithe. Tám I mo chónaí I teach sraithe. Arís. Táim I mo chónaí I dteach sreatha. And if you are not, níl mé I mo chónaí I dteach sreatha. Níl mé I mo chónaí I dteach sreatha. And finally, if you're living in an apartment, you're living in an árasán. Repeat after me. Táim I mo chónaí in árasán. Táim I mo chónaí in árasán. Arís. Táim I mo chónaí in árasán. And finally, if you are not, níl mé I mo chónaí in árasán. Níl mé I mo chónaí in árasán. You do not need to learn all this vocabulary at all. All I want you to learn this week is Táim I mo chónaí I and whatever house you live in. So Táim I mo chónaí I Mongolo, Táim I mo chónaí I Garbhán, Táim I mo chónaí I Gaisleán, Táim I mo chónaí I dteach scuite, Táim I mo chónaí I dteach leathscuite, Táim I mo chónaí I dteach sreatha, nó Táim I mo chónaí in árasán. This week, boys and girls, you are going to be conducting a science investigation at home. You are going to have up until Friday to complete this investigation in your own time. You have to help Eddie the Teddy solve a problem. Poor Eddie the Teddy, can you help him? He got wet while out playing in the garden. What could he do to stop that from happening again? Use the clue to help you. Well, he could have an umbrella with him. This week we are going to make Eddie the Teddy an umbrella. But first, we need to test different materials to figure out which one would be best to make Teddy's umbrella. So, how could we test the materials? What would we need to look out for? Think back on your investigation last Thursday. You were testing for absorbent and waterproof materials. These are properties that are very important when figuring out what material is best for an umbrella. You are going to follow these steps in your investigation. The equipment you'll need is a plastic pot or a jar, an empty jam jar or sauce jar, a cup or a glass, something that you can fit a small toy into but is also transparent. You'll need a pipette or a teaspoon for your water, and you'll also need an elastic band or a go-go or bobbin to help secure your material. Step 1. Put your bear in a plastic pot. So I'm sure not a lot of your teddies are going to fit into your container, so you could use a toy that will fit in to the pot and that will represent your teddy. So it could be a little toy from Lego or a tiny little dog or a doll or a figurine. Then you choose a material to test. You place it on top of the pot and secure it with an elastic band. 3. You drop water onto the material using your teaspoon. Make sure that you keep your test a fair test. If you test your first material by dropping 2 teaspoons of water on it, you must make sure that you only pour 2 teaspoons of water on every other material. 4. Watch closely. 5. Write down the results of the test. Does the water run off the material, meaning that it's waterproof, or does the water soak into the material, meaning it's absorbent? Finally, do the test again using different materials. You can use this worksheet to write out your investigation. First, you're going to write your question, and our question is, what material is best to make Teddy's umbrella? Next, you write in your prediction. I think material will be best. You write down what material you will think will be best suited for the umbrella. Here, you write a list of your different materials and you write down what happened when you poured the water on it. So did the water run off or did it soak in? Then you write yes or no, can this material be used for Ted's umbrella? Here, make sure that you write how many teaspoons or drops of water you are pouring on the material each time. After you've examined your results, you tell us your conclusion. What material do you think is best? Was your prediction right? And why is the material the best? You can also have a critical thinking challenge. This is something you can just think about out loud. Why wouldn't it be a good idea to make an umbrella from metal or glass? If you cannot download or print off the investigation worksheet, you can write up your experiment just like we do in class. Remember, you can write your question, what material will be best to make Teddy's umbrella, your equipment, and you list these materials using bullet points down in a line. You write your prediction. You could include your safety tip, then your method, and you list your numbered steps in order, your results, and your conclusion. Remember, first class, you have all week to do this. Senior infants, I just want you to send in a video of you explaining your investigation using these subheadings: question, equipment, prediction, safety tip, method, results, conclusion. You can draw a picture showing me your results and labeling your materials. Best of luck, boys and girls. Hope you have fun. This week in Maths, boys and girls, we are going to be exploring halves of shapes. I have uploaded our worksheets that you can print off or download for the week. But if you cannot print them off or download them, you can just, for today, draw 4 rectangles on a page. You can trace around a rectangle that you have at home, just like the bottom of a box. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles. 3 of them are lying horizontally across and 1 is standing vertically tall. Senior infants and first class, using a ruler, I want you to split the shape in half by drawing a line from top left corner to the bottom right corner. So I'm going to show you how to do that here. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. My instruction is first from the top left corner, so that's here. We draw a line from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. Now make sure you have a ruler for this activity, and you should draw your line straight across here. Now mine is not straight because I don't have a ruler, but please make sure yours is straight. This is one way that we can split a rectangle in half. Next, split your rectangle in half from the top right-hand corner to the bottom left-hand corner. So from the top right to the bottom left. That is the second way we can split our rectangle in half. Third, split your rectangle vertically down the middle. So down means up and down the middle is around here, and straight line down. So this is one half and this is my second half. So halves are two parts of a whole. Finally, split my rectangle horizontally across the middle. So horizontally is from left to right or right to left. So around about here, and I just go straight across. And there's another way of splitting my rectangle in half. And senior infants, all you do next then is colour each half a different colour. So I might colour my top half up here yellow, and my second half green. First class, you're going to go one step further. You're going to use these shapes to show half of these numbers. We're going to use the one for me, one for you method. So in my first rectangle, I'm going to show half of 2. You can do it with me. 1 for me, 1 for you. 1, 2. What is half of 2? Well, check how much is in 1 half. Half of 2 is 1. Next one. I'm splitting 4 in half, so I'll use this in my second rectangle. 1 for me, 1 for you. 1 for me, 1 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I split 4 in half. How much is in 1 half? 2. So half of 4 is 2. Next number we're going to do together is 6. 1 for me, 1 for you. 1 for me, 1 for you. 1 for me, 1 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is half of 6? Well, check out 1 half. How many is in it? 3. Half of 6 is 3. Let's see now, can you do the last one on your own? Remember to send me a photo once you're done, boys and girls. Today, boys and girls, in first class, you are doing week 17 in your work it out, and we are starting with Monday. Please remember to write today's date 25.1 up on top. And we're going to go straight into it. Remember, this week we are adding 7 in our table. So, number 1, 7 plus 6 equals. Number 2, 7 plus 10 equals. Number 3, 7 plus 5 equals. Number 4, 7 plus 0 equals. Number 5, 7 plus 3 equals. Number 6. Here are people in a queue at the bus stop. Who is second? Number 7. Who is fourth? Number 8. 10 equals plus 8. Number 9. The clock shows 9:30. Show half an hour later. Remember, when you're moving something halfway around the clock, if it starts at 12, it will go to 6. If it's starting at 6, it will move to 12. That's your longhand. Number 10. 2 less than 20 is. Number 11. Plus 5 equals 10. Number 12. The triangle is inside or outside the square. Take the correct one, inside or outside. Number 13. 36 plus 10 equals. Number 14. Fill in the missing numbers. 60, 62, 64, 65, And number 15. During what season is Christmas? So number 1. 7 plus 6 is 13. 7 plus 10 is 17. 7 plus 5 is 12. 7 plus 0 is 7. And 7 plus 3 is 10. Who is second? Pat. Number 7. Who is fourth? Kira. Number 8. 10 equals 2 plus 8. Half an hour after 9:30. Well, my longhand started at 6, so I move it up to 12. And it was 9:30, so I know it's moved on to 10 now. It is now 10 o'clock. 2 less than 20 is 18. Number 11, 5 plus 5 equals 10. Number 12, the triangle is inside the square. Number 13, 36 plus 10 is 46. A nice strategy there is using your T and U, your tens and units, and mentally 6 plus 0 is 6, and then you add your tens. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 tens and 6 units makes 46. Fill in the missing numbers. 60, oh, my pen got a mind of its own there, apologies. 61, 63, and 66. And finally, what season is Christmas? Autumn. No, only joking. It's winter. And seasons, boys and girls, do not get capital letters unless they're in the title of something or when you're writing a Christmas card wish. But winter. Count how many ticks you got correct out of 15 and give yourself a score. Remember to give yourself a happy face, fine face, or sad face to show me how you think you did. This week, boys and girls, we are going to be exploring electricity in our homes. Electricity can make our lives so much easier, but it can also be very dangerous. Watch this video to see how electricity helps us in our homes, and watch this second video to see how we have to be safe around electricity. Today, your activity is to go to your kitchen and identify ways in which electricity makes jobs in the kitchen easier. Then I want you to identify one danger of electricity in your kitchen. If you look at this picture here, we have too many plugs in an electric circuit. This could cause a spark to happen, which could cause a fire. Take a photo or send a video of your electricity in your kitchen. Finally, boys and girls, it's time to sit back, relax, and listen to your book, Houses, written by Mary O'Keefe. Click the link to watch the video.